Hey everybody, how's it going? I hope everybody's doing well. This is the channel that we're doing an Iron to Jesus challenge. Our goal, the idea behind that is that we are just men. We are like pieces of iron and we need to sharpen each other to become more like Jesus. And that's how we become real men. This is the definition of, this is kind of digging in deep to the definition of a man. What is it to be like a man, like a real man? So this is counter to the culture, counter to secular world. This is basically just focusing on Jesus and the characteristics of Jesus, and then following that as a guide. We are not in this, so we are trying to focus on the positive things that we can shoot for, not trying to focus on our faults, because we have a lot of faults. We really do, as men, have a lot of faults. And women too, mankind, obviously. Everybody's sinners, none is righteous, no, not one. So we're trying to focus on the things that we can strive to be like, or the characteristics that we can strive for. And this is my challenge. We just started this. We're on the second one. There are 49 character qualities of Christ that I want to focus on us trying to gain. And originally this channel was, and I still have those videos, men trying to battle porn. And kind of stemming from that, just kind of had an epiphany that there's a lot we can work on and focus on, and I don't want to continue to just keep focusing on porn, because I feel like, at least in my mind, the more I do that, the more the struggle I get. I have a struggle. It keeps coming up on my mind, and I'm trying to change our mindsets and our algorithm to just think on good things, think on these characters of Jesus. And this has to do with more than just porn. This has to do with any addiction or any struggle that you have as a man. Everybody has different struggles. I know men who struggle with drinking. I know men who struggle with anger. And I know it's just a lot. There's so many different things. I know men who struggle with pride, and I don't know if they would admit it, but I can see it. And we all kind of need to see kind of what are we struggling with. But in order to do that, I think one of the ways, there are many ways, one of the ways is to focus on these types of things, the characteristics of Christ, because that's what we should strive to be like. So we are on number 2. We did number 1, alertness. That's in a previous video. Number 2 is attentiveness. Now, when I first read that, I was like, wait, that's kind of similar to alertness, but actually it's not exactly. It's a different thing. So attentiveness versus unconcern. Showing the worth of a person by giving undivided attention to his words and emotions, or his or her words or emotions, I would like to say. So the verse that comes with this is Hebrews 2:1, for the reason we must pay much close attention to what we have heard. For this reason, my bad, I'm reading that poorly today. For this reason, we must pay much close attention to what we have heard, lest we drift away from it. Okay, and I would suggest, I haven't done this yet. Well, I did it, but I don't know, and it's been a while. But I would suggest going to those verses and reading around it too, just to get a little bit more context. But one of the things that when I read this myself, about alertness, attentiveness, alertness and attentiveness, it really hit me hard, because I struggle personally. I don't know if anybody else does, but I struggle personally with kind of this, my wife would call it apathy. I would call it this nonchalant kind of way of thinking where everything's fine. Like, it's easy for me to just be okay, to be fine. Things might happen and I'm like, it's okay. It'll be fine. It'll work out. Which part of that is believing in God that it will work out. But there's a problem when you take it too far, when you start to have an apathy. And I think this is what it's touching on. We don't need to be apathetic, especially in dealing with people. And I think, so this is saying listening when you're showing the worth of a person by giving undivided attention. I don't know how many times, if I'm being completely honest, I don't know how many times I listen to my wife and I do not give her my undivided attention. I do not give her attentiveness, and that's a problem. And then I find myself, and for me personally, I struggle with kind of this empathy. I care about people, but I don't feel for people. If someone's going through a hard time, I can care for them or whatever, or say, comforting things to them. But I don't feel it. I don't really. I'm struggle with showing true empathy, and so that's something that I also need to work on. I don't know if any of you do. We need to be attentive to people, and it takes practice. You got to listen, but you got to listen like hard, truly listen and show some concern. Try to think of how that feels. I shy away. A lot of us probably do, from feelings. But especially when I'm listening to my wife, I have to validate her feelings. Otherwise, she just feels alone, like no one is with her. And it's very easy for women to be kind of, fickle's not the best word, because we need them. We need their emotions. So we can't go, well, I guess we could, but going through life without emotions is not the best thing. It tends to, it's good for some things, business, whatever, there's some things where it's like you may not need those. But my wife, for example, helps me stop and think about the emotions of people, and people around us, not just her. And that's a good thing, because so that kind of goes along with alertness, the last word. So alertness, attentiveness, you have to be alert and aware of what's going on, and then you have to also be attentive to whatever relationship that you have, whether it's your wife or a business relationship, or your kids are huge. Your kids, especially if you have daughters, but both, really, daughters or sons, they need to know that you care and you are attentive to their needs, especially as they get older, in the teenagers and stuff like that. If they don't feel like you are listening, truly attentive, then they could push back and push away and kind of just not go there. So they won't come to you when they might need you. And that scares me. Sometimes I kind of probably am over attentive to my kids because I'm kind of scared of that. But I need to work on being attentive to my wife, and just other people, random people you meet. I believe truly that God brings people in your life, even as random as you could think. Just randomly meet someone at the grocery store, and sometimes it's nothing, but sometimes I feel like it could be that you just smile and you might say hi, and you may even ask how they're doing. But you know how you ask how you're doing and you just kind of look away and move on. But there could be something, this Holy Spirit might be pushing you to look at someone kind of in the eyes and truly ask how you're doing. And I think people feel that when they get asked that truly, and then you pause and you wait, you're attentive to what they're saying, you could literally change someone's day, whole day, week, month. just from asking a simple question or saying a simple thing or helping them with one simple task. You might see kids, you might see people that just need some help with something, carrying groceries or picking something up, whatever. And even just that little small thing, I've had it happen to me before, where people are just like, and I try to be real nice, and I focus on them, so I'm attentive. It's happened before, and they just feel it. It's a spiritual thing. Like, they truly feel loved and cared for, and that is huge. Some people don't get that. Sometimes we don't get that. We may ourselves as men need that, and we don't realize it, or we think, oh, we're fine. Like I do, I'm fine, it's fine. But truly, I actually probably need someone to be attentive to me. And so finding someone that can also be attentive to you is huge too. Someone you trust, you care about. When I've done those videos on porn, struggling with that, it's huge to find someone, another man or two or whatever, that you can talk to about that. And that's huge. Like, it is big. And so so this goes back to all of this. I feel like all these Jesus 49 characteristics, qualities of Christ, all of it goes back to, in my opinion, relationships. How Jesus dealt with relationships with people. He went to people, he talked to people, he sat with strangers, and he was attentive to them. He was first alert of what was going on, of what was needed, if someone needed something, or if someone just needed to be listened to. And then he went and he was attentive to them. And there was no bearing. He got nothing out of it. It's another thing. He got nothing out of it. He literally was just there for them and had a conversation with them. This is two things so far: alertness and attentiveness. These are two things that make a man a real man. This is how we become real men. And this is all good for women too. And I apologize, because really this should be for everybody, mankind. But I kind of I've been focusing a lot over the years on ministering to men, and also being ministered by men, and mentored, and also mentoring myself. Like, that's kind of been my goal for the last few years. So that's kind of why I talk about men. But really, this is true for everybody. So true for everybody. All right. I hope everybody's doing well. I hope that was good. By the way, this website that I'm showing right now is where I'm getting all of these. It's free on their website. They have the credit. They get the credit. It's not, I'm just commenting on it. So go there if you would like. They have other resources also that I think are great. I haven't used any of them, but these are great. I've read most of these 49. They're great. Anyway, also, if you would like to comment, share this with someone. If you don't want to do that on your phone or algorithm, that's fine, but just maybe find another person to talk to about this, and because I want to help as many people as I can. And it's not about me. I don't show my face, because it's not about me. But I do want this information to get out there, and I want to help other men or women to just focus on Jesus and his characteristics. And I feel like that will help us, and it'll trickle down to other things in our life. I really do believe that. And if you have any questions, email me. The email is in my channel description. And I will try to continue to do this as often as I can. Thank you all very much. Have a great day. God bless.